I had no idea as I was preparing this meal that this would be my last big meal before I go into active labor. I was so grateful to God that He gave me the energy to get up in this kitchen and bust this food down because I was craving something good. I guess the baby said, listen, I'm getting ready to come out and get just milk. So I'm going to need this last meal to hit like Thanksgiving. So, baby, we got some greens and I added in a bag of kale, collard greens to be exact, excuse me, and added in a bag of kale like my mama do. And then I went ahead and chopped me up some vegetables, some bell pepper. The bell pepper, you got to put that in almost everything. It give it your meal just flavor. Then we got the onions and we got some sweet peppers. You whatever you got in your fridge is what you add in there. Come on, give them a little smile. Don't be so mean, Donisha. We going through it, but we making a way. And then I had to go to Costco and get these St. Louis ribs, and I don't know if you could see that red symbol on it that said Swift. Baby, when I tell you this baby came out of me swiftly, I was literally in active labor for 2 hours and 30 minutes, and the baby came out. And don't worry, y'all gonna be able to see the baby on a later date. But right now, we gonna finish this up because we gotta stay in the moment. And in the moment, I didn't know what was going on. All I knew is that I needed me a Thanksgiving bust down. So we went ahead and took some of the skin, some of the fat off of the ribs. I love this one at Costco because they give you 3 in a pack. And I got a big family up in this house. We feeding big mouths over here. So then I added on the Montreal steak seasoning and like some barbecue seasoning and rub and stuff. And I forgot to add the mustard on because, that kind of binds everything together. So I went and added that on the top. And then I just did this times 2, you know what I'm saying? And we ain't got no smoker or nothing, but, we going to make it do what we do like our ancestors did. So I went ahead and threw aluminum foil on them and put them in the oven like this, y'all, until they was nice and tender, fork tender. I think I put them on like 375 for like 3 or 4 hours. I don't know. And then I like to clean as I go because it keeps my stress low, baby. So once my greens was on the stove and they were simmering for a little bit, because you got to let them cook down before you add your seasonings to them, I went ahead and added me some chicken broth because I decided not to add no meat to them. Just a little bit of liquid smoke to make me feel like I got that, smoked ham hock or something in there, but not really. And then I added in some hot sauce, and I try to, stay together with the seasonings. If I add them in the meat, I try to add them in the greens, whatever I'm adding. So I didn't add everything, but I did add the Montreal steak seasoning in there, and you got to make sure that you add in a little brown sugar because that's going to take the bitterness out a little bit. Y'all, when I tell you these greens was a 10 out of 10, they will win every time, baby. You got to try this. I was so grateful that this was my baby's last meal in the womb because when I tell you them bowels was locked up for 2 days, baby, I was praying to the Lord on that hospital bed. But I'll catch y'all in the next one.